I guess I'm gonna continue the like gun control debunked series of videos. But anyways, today I'm gonna do the gun registry, topic. And this is something that Canadians know very well because we still have one for restricted guns, but not for long or non-restricted. And like I said, first, I'd like to say that this one is, I think, pretty cut and dry because even, I'd not say most, but a lot of pro-gun control people I've heard and know, they've even understood why this idea is so stupid. And it's for one simple reason. And it's basically, why in the world would a criminal register their gun? Like, anyone who supports that, you please tell me, why would a criminal register a gun? And I guess for the people that do support it, they're probably wanting to be the, oh, well, if we could just prevent one, I mean, the idea of it is, I usually hear, is that, cops roll up to a domestic dispute or something like that, and they want to be able to, punch into their computer, does so-and-so have any guns? Well, as good as that sounds, I can't even recall a case off the top of my head where that's been the case. A cop rolls up onto a house and he gets shot. I mean, obviously it's happened, but... And again, another thing I'd like to point out to those people is that gun registry costs $2 billion. Let's say you even saved a cop a year's life, or a cop a year of the thing, so you maybe save like 15, 20 cops. I mean, is that worth $2 billion? You're not telling me that if you put... I mean, people are going to come off, well, you want cops to die? Well, no. If you put $2 billion into keeping people from being fat, keeping people from getting smoking, stuff like that, you'd save thousands. Okay? You'd save thousands. I mean, like, it pains me to say these people that, well, every life matters. Well, if every life matters, then why in the world are you worried about guns? I mean, even in the US, I believe homicide by gun is roughly like I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it's either the 18th or the 19th most likely way to die. So you're telling me that you're worried about the 18th or most likely way you're gonna die. Like, honestly, I don't think there's anybody more worried that they're more worried about than getting killed by a gun. Like, you're far more likely to be killed in a vehicle crash, but most people still drive without a care in the world, that somehow magically they're going to get to point A to point B every time, no problem. More people die of drunk driving than by homicides in the US. And again, no one bats an eye when, especially young people, when they're generally anti-gun, but they're at a party and they see their friend, leaving drunk, driving, know they're going to drive home. They don't bat an eye then. But when it comes to guns, so every life matters. Like I said, if every life mattered for other things that actually kill a great number of people, we'd be so much better off. I guess to get back to the registry ideas, like, again, I mean, really the only evidence you need is that criminals... Okay, first off, I'd like to see a actual number on it, but something tells me it's got to be like 75-80% of people who kill people have a prior criminal record. I mean, again, I'd like to see a actual figure, but I think it'd have to be at least 60-70%, but I'd say probably in that 70-80, maybe even 85% range, which means that whatever that number of people is, they're not going to be able to buy a gun legally anyways, which means when they get a gun. Like I said in other videos, it's gun control. It doesn't prevent people. If you think gun control prevents people from getting guns, you think that banning marijuana keeps people from getting marijuana, and everybody knows that's BS. So that criminal, he's not gonna have the gun legally. I mean, and I don't think you can register a gun you got illegally, anyways. Even if you wanted to do it. Number one, they'd figure out that you're a criminal, anyways. Number two, you'd have to have a PAL, and if you're a criminal, you can't have a PAL. So the whole idea is it's the people who and I see the people who actually know what they're talking about. It just makes your head spin. It literally makes your head spin just how clueless people are. It's beyond clueless. And I know I kind of use this example too much, but if you think that the prohibition of marijuana doesn't do anything to stop the use of marijuana, then why in the world do you think that the prohibition of guns stops the use of criminals from getting them? And don't tell me it's not the same thing, because it is literally the exact same thing. I know people in Canada, they always... I've seen figures on this yesterday, not yesterday, but the other day, about how in BC it was something it was in the 90s or something like 92 or 93%. It was in the 90th percentile of gun homicide weapons were traced back to the US. Which means that roughly, 7-8% of guns were even bought in Canada. I bet probably something like another 80-90% of those were illegal. So you're looking at maybe 1 or 2% of guns used in crimes are legally owned, which means that more than likely 1 or 2% of guns used in crimes are legal gun owners. And again, if you have the ability to buy a gun legally, you shouldn't have any restrictions on that. You should be able to have 30 round mags. You should be able to have in your vehicle. You should be able to have a concealed carry. And I'm gonna actually make a series on what my ideal gun laws would be. And again, kind of to cap it off with the registry, I think this is one where, like I said, a lot of even anti-gun people recognize how stupid this is, which they're basically admitting they're wrong on the issue. They're saying that more prohibition doesn't work, which I think points out their hypocrisy. But yeah, I think this is one where I think the only point you need is that why in the world would a criminal register their gun? It makes no sense. I'll definitely make more videos about kind of getting down there. For future videos, I know I heard today that Trudeau wants to have all guns marked. I'll probably make a series or a video about that. I don't know. I might think of some other gun control proposals, ideas to make videos about, but I think those are really I've already did kind of the four main ones, is high cap mags, semi-auto, I guess body armor really isn't one, and then registry. I mean, those are usually the three first things they always call for, is high cap mag ban, semi-auto ban, and registry. And the other thing about registry too, is I guess I want to make perfectly clear, is that the only reason that the government, because like I said, no criminal registers their gun, and criminals commit probably 95% of crimes. Basically every murder is committed by someone who has a prior criminal record. So you're not really preventing anything by having a registry. A registry is put in place so that if they ever have to confiscate, which has happened, I mean, High River is an example. If they ever have to confiscate from people, they know exactly who has them, exactly where they live. And they did that in Hurricane Katrina too. Obviously, they didn't have a registry, they just went door to door, but, I mean, yeah. If you think of something else good to say, a good point, throw it in the comments, but